Conclusione perfetta, il triplete per la prima volta nella storia dell'Inter.
The Magic Treble, a special achievement that consists of a club winning the domestic league, the domestic cup, and the Continental Cup all in one season. It is revered with sanctity like none other terms in the pantheon of football legends. It is the highest of heights every club and player dreams of. Simply put, it is the epitome of perfection in the football world. This is why it may come as a surprise that there are some places on earth that do not honor this sacred accomplishment like the rest of us do. Namely, there is one continent that has never produced a treble. To reiterate, it has never produced a team that won its domestic league, cup, and the Continental Cup all in one season. And that is South America. Yes, the second best footballing continent in the world, throughout its entire history, has never seen a club on its soil win all three of those trophies in any given season. Shocking, I know. But is that because they just don't have good teams, or more likely something else? Today, we're gonna attempt to understand the treble from the South American point of view and what they see as a club's greatest achievement. So without any further ado, strap yourself in, Los Kids. Okay, let's get the more obvious reasons out of the way. The European definition of the treble hardly works in the first place, as South America doesn't have a domestic cup culture. That's right, unlike the FA Cup being hailed as a crown jewel of trophies in England, the majority of South American nations did not have a cup competition until the late 20th century. Some even waited until the 21st, and some are still waiting. The Copa do Brasil was only created in 1989 in response to a decline in league participation, and from 2001 to 2012, clubs in the Copa Libertadores, the Champions League equivalent, were actually banned from the domestic cup, further preventing a clean sweep. The Copa Argentina was held in 1969 but soon abandoned, and didn't see the light of day again until 2011. The Copa Uruguaya still hasn't and won't come into existence until 2021. These three nations, Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay, have won 53 out of 61 editions of the Libertadores, and yet, for most of them, the absence of the domestic cup meant that the European-style treble was theoretically impossible. That is not to say other clubs in other nations haven't come close. Chile, for example, has the longest running domestic cup on the continent, and Chilean giants Colo-Colo, after clinching their third straight league title in 1991, won the country's first and only Libertadores that year, and were a Copa de Chile away from doing the unprecedented. Naturally, it made perfect sense that they would get smashed 5-1 in the quarterfinals by fellow Santiagan side Palestino, who finished a whopping 15 points behind them on the league table. Yeah. Another close call fell to Colombia's Atlético Nacional, who won both cup competitions in 2016 but failed in the semi-finals of both league tournaments, when they had won at least one of the two for 3 straight years up to that point. Diversity is a key factor to seeing the beauty of South American football, and it's no surprise that there exist several interpretations of the treble, or more commonly known there as the Triple Crown. So, there is the European treble still, which, as we know, is yet to be won by a South American side. Then there's the World Treble, the most commonly accepted form in South America, in which the domestic cup is replaced by the famous Intercontinental/Club World Cup. This means that a club has to win their domestic league, win the Copa Libertadores to earn a place in the Intercontinental Cup, and win that as well. The first team to win the World Treble was Uruguayan giant Peñarol, who, led by club legend Alberto Spencer, who won the first two editions of the Libertadores in 1960 and 61, both times qualifying as league winners. And after a baptism of fire handed by the brilliant Real Madrid side, came back next year and edged it out against Eusebio's Benfica, becoming the first South American side to win the World Treble. Certainly not the last, as the very next year, Santos, one of the best club sides of all time, led by arguably the best player of all time, went on a dominant run, winning everything in sight, including 2 straight trebles that cemented their worldwide iconic status. After more Uruguayan dominance from Nacional and Peñarol, it was finally Argentina's time to shine. The 1986 River Plate captured their 21st league title, their first ever Libertadores, and beating fellow first-timers Stereo Bucharest in the Intercontinental Cup, completing the country's first and the continent's 8th World Treble. 9th and 10th would follow with arch-enemy Boca Juniors rising in the turn of the millennium, driven by 2 generational talents en route to the most recent conquests of the World Treble. There are some other forms of treble on the continent, but they are all exclusively Brazilian. According to the 5-time World Cup winners, the Triple Crown can be a combo of any 3 titles from the following: the State Championship, which is unique to Brazil, the Copa, the Serie A, the Libertadores, which unlocks the Recopa Sudamericana, and the Intercontinental/Club World Cup. And every single combo other than the European one has been unlocked. In 1981, Flamengo, led by Prime Zico, went on a tear, winning the Campeonato Carioca, the Libertadores, and capped it off with a thorough domination of Bob Paisley's Liverpool in Tokyo. 38 years later, Mengón came back to claim a different treble, this time winning the Serie A in addition to the state title and the Libertadores. And we're actually very close to doing a quadruple, only to be denied in extra time by another great Reds team who this time got their revenge. Other famous treble crowns include Tele Santana's great São Paulo side that took the world by storm, winning all 4 continental trophies available, and the legendary 2003 Cruzeiro side who completed a clean sweep of domestic honors, and many more honorable mentions that are worth your own research. Wait, what? All in all, the complexity and intricacy of South American football, and just how unique they are compared to our perception of the beautiful game, strikes me every time. The treble, as club football's highest honor, is yet another great example, and I can't wait to come back with videos that shed light on more with the South American game in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave a comment of your suggestion for more football history content, and subscribe so you can keep up with those content when they come out, including a Miracle Cup run with no wins and the turning point of a great rivalry. Until then,
várias vezes campeão, celebram a conquista da Tríplice Coroa.